Bree Marie D, Boston Banner Bound, and on Celtics Corner. So I want to recap the last 3 regular season games. They were all road games for the Boston Celtics. I do want to note this is probably the most important note of anything that I'm going to say. The Boston Celtics were in 11th place on January 21st, and they were sitting at 23-24. They now finished the regular season with a record of 51-31, and they finished the season as the 2nd seed. So huge shout out and congratulations. Honestly, just making that accomplishment, I'm good. Like, if that's like the worst that this season ends up in, that's a great turnaround, and I'm very impressed, and it could have been a lot worse. We could be in the play-in, we could not even be in playoffs. So that needs to be said. It needs to be shouted from the rooftops. What a turnaround. Great way to end the season. So when I left you, the Celtics had just beat the Pacers and the Wizards. The Wizards was a blowout 42-point game at home, and then they were heading to finish their last 3 regular season games on the road. So they took on the Bulls, and the injury report had Tatum, Brown, and Horford all listed as probable, but they all played. And for the Bulls, it was weird. Levine was listed as out, but he ended up playing. But Caruso and Lonzo Ball were out in this game. The Celtics won this game 117-94, a 23-point win. And the Celtics at this point were the 2nd seed, and they were on a 2-game win streak. Let me just see. I'm just skimming through my notes here. DeRozan only had 16 points in this game, which is kind of crazy because the night before he had 40 points. So I really was expecting a lot more from DeRozan. He kind of disappointed me this game, but obviously the Celtics got the win, so that wasn't disappointing at all. Brown had 25 points, Tatum had 16, Horford had a double-double with 17 and 10, and Tice had 15 points. And with this win, the Celtics clinch home court advantage for the first round. So no matter what the next 2 games outcomes was, the Celtics could do no worse than getting the home court advantage. So they were either going to be the 2, the 3, or the 4 seed, which means home court advantage for that first round. So that was a really significant win. Then they were on a traveling back-to-back, and they go to the Milwaukee Bucks, and they lose this game and snap their 3-game win streak only by 6 points. They lose 127-122. And before this game, the Celtics were actually leading the season series against the Bucks 2-1. So now they're tied 2-2, but honestly, that doesn't mean anything because we're not in any sort of tiebreaker talks. The Bucks are the 3 seed. We are the 2 seed. Wild how that happened. Bucks did not come to play, and they did not want to face the Nets in the first round. And we got the short end of the stick there. So Tatum and Horford did not play in this game against the Bucks, by the way. Giannis was listed as questionable to start the game, and so was Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen did not play, but Giannis did play, and that was obviously the X factor there as to how they got the win over the Celtics. Like I said, not by much. It was a very close game. The Celtics actually were leading by 1 with 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. They were tied in the 4th quarter. They were tied at 121 with 2 minutes to go in the game. It was 124 with under 121 with under a minute to go. Tice misses a wide open layup, which was like, so gut-wrenching because Tice had a really good game, and that was like the only thing that wasn't perfection there. And obviously a lot of people were saying Rob would have dunked it. So obviously different guy, different outcome. Giannis missed 1 of 2 free throws. Tice gets a rebound, calls a timeout. 125-121, Bucks lead with 35 seconds left, but 15 turnovers led to 22 points off the turnovers, and that's how you lose a game by 6. The Celtics, but what I noted here, Celtics have blocked Giannis 4 times tonight. Grant Williams, Jaylen Brown, Luke Cornett, and Marcus Smart all got blocks on Giannis at this game. Really fun to see. Jaylen Brown got a triple-double, and Celtics made 21 3-pointers in this game, and the franchise record is 25. So they were like so close to either tying or breaking that franchise record. And actually, the announcer stated that the Bucks give up the most threes scored on them in this season. So there was no surprise there that the Celtics live and die by the three. But the fact that it's known that the Bucks get threes scored on them the most in the NBA, it was clear that the Celtics were going to take advantage of that stat. Tice ended the game with 22 points. Smart was 29, 7 assists with 7 3-points made. White was 19 and 6. Brown got that triple-double, like I said, 22, 10, and 11. And then for the bench, Hauser had 11 and Pritchard had 13. On the other side of the ball, Giannis had 29 and 11 rebounds. Middleton, 29, 8 and 9. Lopez, 15. Holiday, 29, 8 and 8. And for their bench, Bobby Portis, 17 points. So with that loss, the Celtics dropped to the 3 seed. But I wrote, great fucking effort, though. Down 3 starters and almost had it in Milwaukee. Now tied 2-2 for the regular season series with the Bucks. Dropped to the 3 seed with that loss. The Heat clinched the 1 seed with the Celtics loss, and the Sixers loss to the Raptors. Celtics have the best team record since the All-Star break with a record of 16 and 5. And then the game that we want to talk about the most is the game that they just played today, which was the last regular season game against the Grizzlies. And so listen to this. We won this game by 29 points. It was 139-110, but a lot of people were calling for us to tank this game or throw this game because we didn't want to win and stay the 2 seed, but unfortunately, either way, the Sixers won. So what we needed was a Sixers loss and a Celtics loss for the records to stay the same. So it really wasn't in our favor either way. Sixers probably weren't going to lose to the Pistons, even sitting Harden and Embiid. Pistons still are trash, but somehow managed to get a win on us and somehow upset like decent teams this year. I don't know. It's fucking weird. But Pistons did not come through for me in the clutch. They did not win this game against the Sixers, and we did not lose this game against the Grizzlies. So, not to mention there was a laundry list of players listed out for the Grizzlies. They only had one of their starting 5 active. And this was the second game that Ja Morant could have played in, finally being back. I believe the Grizzlies went like 22-2 or something crazy like that with Ja Morant being sidelined. He actually played last night. He did pretty well. I believe he got like 20 points or something. Again, I don't really watch the West Coast as much as the East Coast, and I don't write their stats down and memorize it. But I know that Ja Morant's first game back yesterday, he looked really well. Oh yeah, Grizzlies were on a back-to-back. Not a traveling back-to-back, but they were on a back-to-back. So either way, I don't think Ja Morant was going to play, regardless of whether they wanted to actually like compete in this game or not. I don't think Ja Morant was getting that start. If he was, it was going to be like very limited minutes. Like he was not going to be playing a lot in this game at all. First week back, second game back, I didn't see it happening. But yeah, they were out a lot of people, and the Celtics decided to not rest anybody. They actually played every single person except for obviously Rob Williams, who is still out, and Nick Stauskas is still out with an ankle sprain, I believe it is. So those are the only 2 people that were not able to play. The entire bench played. So to be honest with you, I did not watch this game very closely because once I saw that it was a blowout by half, I turned my attention to the Red Sox game, and I will actually do a recap of the Red Sox game later as well. So yeah, I wrote, to stay the 3 seed, the Celtics and Sixers both need to lose today. They both won. That didn't happen. The Celtics led by 26 points at the half, 72-49, super high scoring, no defense whatsoever. Tatum had 26 points, Horford had 11, Pritchard had 10. At the end of the third quarter, the Celtics broke 100 points. It was 104-79, and then the starters were done at this point. And to be honest with you, I was fucking mad that the starters even started the third quarter. Like, you had a 26-point lead in a game that doesn't fucking have any relevance or matter. So, like, why risk putting your starters out there to have a freak accident or injury. You've obviously seen that the freakest of dumbest of injuries happen to us for no fucking reason other than we're just super unlucky. The basketball gods sometimes are not in our favor. So I was not happy when I saw them going out and playing the entire third quarter. Like, I didn't think it was necessary. However, I did understand the fact of not resting your starters for this game, like not doing load management. I fucking hate load management. But the only reason why I saw that it was possibly a good thing to at least give them limited minutes, I get that you didn't want to load manage them. So, like I said, they didn't play for like 3 days. They had 3 days off before taking on the Grizzlies because they had the traveling back-to-back, and then they had the 3 days off, and they hadn't played. So imagine not playing today and then not playing until maybe possibly next Sunday, if Saturday, possibly, if they're doing the doubleheader at the Garden, which I don't think they're doing. But imagine not playing for like a week and a half, like an actual game. Like, that would not be good. Like, you don't want them to be like super rested and rusty. You want them to like, have some sort of burn. You want them to get some reps in an actual game because an actual game is not like practice. So, obviously. So, didn't like that they played as many minutes as they did, but I understood why they were playing at all. Unlike fucking Milwaukee Bucks and the Sixers just resting their fucking star players because they were too afraid to get the fucking 2 seed to play the Nets. But whatever. So, end of the game, Tatum had 31 points and 9 rebounds in 26 minutes. Horford had 13 and 6 rebounds. Tice had a double-double, 11 and 10. Brown had 18 points. Like I said, the entire bench was used. Pritchard had 12, Cornette had 10, and Grant had 9. The largest lead was 33, and they ended the game with a 26-point lead. Now, this is how the standings look officially. Heat is the 1 seed. Celtics are the 2 seed. Bucks are the 3. Sixers are the 4. Raptors are the 5. Bulls are the 6. And now you have the 7, 8, 9, 10. They're in the play-in, and it's now the Nets at 7, which means they have home court advantage over the Cavs that are the 8 seed. Hawks are the 9 seed. They get home court advantage over the Hornets, who are the 10th seed. So this is how the play-in works. If you're not familiar, if you are, I'm just going to recap it for you just for our memory's sake. This is how the play-in works. 7 and 8 seed play, obviously, at 7s, aka the Nets home court. The winner of that, it's a one and done. The winner of that moves up, is the 7 seed officially. Then the 9 and 10 seed will play. And the 9 and 10 seed will play. And then the winner plays the loser of the 7 and 8. Sorry, I wrote that so stupidly. So the 9 and 10 seed play. The winner of that plays the loser of the 7 and 8. So that way, if you play the 7 and 8 and you lose, you still have another chance to become the 8 seed. Then the loser of 7 and 8 play the winner of 9 and 10, and that determines the 8 seed. Okay, so if I just read what I wrote as fucking usual, I would have explained that better. So, if I'm being honest, obviously I think the Nets are going to fucking kill the Cavs. And that game is taking place on Tuesday at 7, obviously, in Brooklyn. The Nets take on the Cavs, and then the Celtics play the winner of that game. Again, we are not sure when the first round of playoffs is officially starting. I believe we will find out the exact dates of those when the play-in games are officially over and we know the exact seeding and the exact matchups, and we will go from there. Like I said to you before, Bruins have a home game that Saturday, so I don't really think it makes any goddamn sense to have the Celtics then play that night and have it be a doubleheader at the Garden. I think they might have an Easter Sunday opening playoff day, and then it would be either Sunday, Tuesday, or Sunday, Wednesday, because I was told that they drag out the first round of playoffs and give them a little extra rest in between games. Yeah, I mean, wild, just wild. I'm so thoroughly impressed with the turnaround. Obviously, things change. Rob goes down. I'm not as confident in where they end up playoff round wise. I think without Rob, second round exit. I think with Rob, Eastern Conference Finals. fingers crossed. Rob posted a video of him at the practice facility getting in some reps, seeming positive. He captioned it, "Let's fucking go." So he's looking like he's ramping back up to be available, which is amazing. Very promising, very encouraging. I look forward to seeing his progress. I also look forward to the rest of how this game is going to go. The play-in is super fun and super like entertaining and competitive. So I'm really looking forward to those games. I believe those are taking place between April 12th and April 15th. And like I said, the start of the NBA playoffs is April 16th, but I'm really hoping that our first round game at home is April 17th. And because, fun fact, obviously, if you're a basketball fan, you know this, but because we are the 2 seed, no matter what, we are guaranteed home court advantage in every single round of the playoffs, obviously, except when we play, like if we're playing the 1 seed, which is the Heat, then they would get home court advantage. But yeah, that's all I have for Celtics Talk. Please subscribe, like, comment, share for Celtics Corner and all of my social medias at Brie Marie D on Instagram and Twitter. Keep up with me, keep up with my sports talk. Now I'm going to transition into Sox Talk. So they just played a 3-game series as the season opener in the Bronx against the fucking Yankees, who we hate. Yankees suck, obviously. I'm just going to recap the 3 games real quick. Obviously, they just had a game that ended literally 20 minutes ago. So I'm going to just rapid fire, go through some stats, go through some stuff. So they lost the first game 6-5. This was the opening day game that got delayed. It was supposed to be Thursday. It was a rain out. It got moved to Friday. They actually went into extra innings in true Red Sox Yankees fashion. Can a game be shorter than 4 hours? No, it cannot. Let's just fucking grind it out. It was an 11-inning game. They lost 6-5. So Devers had a 2-run home run in the first inning. JD RBI double, then Rizzo battles back with a 2-run home run, then Stanton has a solo home run, and that ties up the game. Verdugo has an RBI single to take the lead, then LeMahieu has a solo home run to tie the game. Extra innings, Xander gets an RBI single because there's a ghost runner on second. They put the lead up 5-4. Torres hits a sac fly to tie it up again, 5-5. And then Donaldson has an RBI single just right in the gap, up the middle, to win the game in the bottom of the 11th, 6-5. Celtics are now 0-1 on the season against the Yankees and in that series. Then they take on the Yankees again Saturday at 4 o'clock in the Bronx. They lose this game 4-2. And the interesting thing about this is the Yankees scored 4 runs on just 4 hits. So again, Red Sox started off hot. Verdugo had a 2-run home run to lead off the game, taking the lead 2-0 in the game. Then Rizzo hits a 2-run home run to tie it. Then Stanton again, literally just unstoppable, hits another 2-run home run. And that's how the game ends, 4-2. Very low scoring game, very low hits. Like I said, Yankees only had 4 hits. Red Sox did have 5 hits. They could not capitalize, left a lot of people on base, lost the game 4-2. Red Sox are now on a 2-game losing streak, and they are losing 2-0 in the series, the 3-game series in the Bronx against the Yankees. Then today, they played primetime national television on ESPN to close out their 3-game series against the Yankees. Again, they were playing at the same time as the Celtics, so I had to maneuver having my game on my TV and then a game on my laptop and then listening to the sounds of, I just kind of switched off because Kike was mic'd up and he's hilarious. So I wanted to hear the commentary of Kike, but I also wanted to hear the commentary of the Celtics game. So I was, multitasking, juggling, writing my notes on both my Sox Talk notepad and my Celtics Talk notepad. And it was a very busy Sunday fun day. So the Red Sox, sorry. Too many people. The Red Sox won this game 4-3. Thank God it's not how you start a series, but it's how you finish one. Position changes for this game, though. Arroyo was in right field, and as you know, Arroyo is actually the backup second baseman. So him being in the outfield was a little bit of a struggle. He struggled a little bit, but he found his way towards the end of the game. And then Ruiz played second base. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. That's how Aruz. it's really hard to pronounce a lot of these people's names, so bear with me. You know who I'm talking about. I can call him Jonathan if you want. He played second. Story didn't play today, and then Plawecki was the catcher. Vasquez did not play today. So again, Red Sox started off the game hot. JD had an RBI double that scored Devers, and then Arroyo had a sac fly that scored Xander. Sox led the game 2-0, and then John Carlos fucking Stanton gets an RBI single, and the lead is now 2-1. So Tanner Houck, again, I don't how do you say his name? I'm just gonna call him Tanner. He actually wasn't pitching too great, if I'm being honest. He did get out of a bases loaded situation twice without them scoring a run, which I guess speaks for the defense, but the fact that they had to load the bases twice doesn't really speak much for his pitching. I noted that I liked that Plawecki was trying to bunt because he sucks at batting. And the reason why he showed bunt and tried a bunt attempt was because there was 2 on and nobody out in the 4th. But instead of laying down a bunt, he actually had a dribbler to second and got the job done and advanced the runners. Then Jonathan Aruz, whatever you want to call him, sac fly, scores Arroyo. Sox lead 3-1 in the 4th. Tanner Houck exits the 4th inning, leaving 2 on base, and Brazier enters. Fucking Anthony Rizzo, I can't stand you, Paisan. You kill me. You and John Carlos Stanton are the death of me this year so far, bro. 2-run RBI single to tie the game, 3-3 in the bottom of the 4th. Then my boy, Bobby D, welcome to this season because, bro, you've been a ghost so far. Bobby D, solo home run, puts the Sox up on top, 4-3. And that's how the game pretty much ended. JD called out. He's slow as molasses, this kid. He is a fucking sloth. He is so slow. I don't understand it. The dude bobbles the ball at second. They tried to turn 2, and they actually did turn 2. However, if we looked at the replay footage, it looked as though JD was safe, but for some reason, Cora didn't want to challenge it. I'm assuming he just didn't want to drag out this game longer than he had to. But if they did challenge, it would have been overturned because JD was safe. But he's just so fucking slow, bro. Like, it's wild. He either needs to hit a home run or nothing because this man cannot run the bases. Just a very, very slow human. Then some changes were made. JBJ enters the game in the 8th. Arroyo then moves from right field to second, and then Jonathan exits the game. So again, seeing people being utility, right? Utility players, being able to play multiple positions is super beneficial. And, you have more tools in your tool belt, right? So, like, you want to be able to use people any way you can, however you can, for however long you can. So the fact that Arroyo could be so versatile and move from the outfield into the infield without a hitch was great. Robles got the start in the 8th inning. So, again, Cora not set on who he has as a closer. Bottom of the 8th, the Yankees got their leadoff man on base for the 6th time, but the Yankees left 11 men on base tonight. That hurt them and definitely cost them the W today. And then Diekman, I think it's Diekman, he got the 9th. He faced the 3-4-5 batters. Judge led off, and he just hammered them. All of them struck out. It was beautiful. Chef's kiss. What a great way to end that game with the Yankees striking out their last 3 to try and have a last attempt at winning the game. So I made a note that the Yankees took their starting pitcher out super early in every single game that we faced them in those 3 series. Garrett Cole only pitched 4, and they used 8 total pitchers in the first game. Severino only pitched 3 innings, and they used 7 total pitchers that game. And then today, Montgomery pitched 3 innings. He was pulled very shortly in the 4th. So if you don't finish the inning, they say that you only pitched 3. If you only went through 1 man in the 4th, or if you got pulled, then they say you pitched 3 complete innings. And he only pitched 3 innings, and they used 5 pitchers. For the Red Sox, Evaldi pitched 5. They used 7 in the first game. Pivetta went 5 and used 4 pitchers in the second game. And then again, Tanner did not do well today. He only went 3, and they used 6 pitchers. And it was funny. Some guy was on Twitter was making note. Okay, game 1. Red Sox started off winning the game 3-0 in the first, and they lost 6-5. Game 2, the Red Sox started off hot 2-0 in the second inning, and they lost 4-2. And then the guy wrote, game 3, Red Sox start 2-0 lead in the first, and now we can finally say they got the win 4-3 to end the season, to end the series, the first series in the Bronx. So now the Red Sox are 1-2. I'm so bad at math. Sorry. I am not a mathematician. Yes, they are now 1-2. And that the Red Sox head straight to Detroit. There are no breaks, as you know. They play every goddamn day. And they will have a 3-game series. And then, actually, surprise, surprise, they do have one day off because that's the home opener against the Twins on that Friday, April 15th. It's 2 p.m. start. They take on the Twins. It's going to be good. I'm going to be there. I wouldn't miss it. Have to be there for the home opener. Duh. No brainer. So, and then after that, they don't stop playing for like legitimately 28 days straight. I'm not fucking kidding you. So like I said, I'm not going to come on here and talk about every single game because you don't want to see me 162 times talking about Red Sox on ad nauseum. You don't want that. But I obviously will come back and talk to you guys about playoff talk. No shit. Obviously got to talk to you about the Celtics playoffs and what's going on there. Probably going to talk to you guys about how the Cavs-Nets game goes, and then just what the seeding is actually going to be. And, well, we know the seeding, but I mean, like, who we're facing, what the rest of the Eastern Conference is going to look like, the path to success, if we get Rob back, if we don't. And then I'll talk to you about Red Sox here and there, you know, when I see fit. But yes, this has been Brie Marie D, talking Sox, talking Celts. Very impressed with both teams so far. It's been 3 games for the Red Sox. I'm not worried about it. They need to get their rhythm. They need to get pitching. That's like the number one thing. Definitely need to re-sign Devers. I'm not quite sure what they're going to do about Xander. Probably not going to re-sign him if I'm being honest with you, because Trevor Story is a shortstop and we just signed him for 5 years. So, it would suck to see Xander go, but it would really fucking suck to see Dever go as well. Like I said, need to keep him. He's the face. He's the future. Don't want to lose him. Celtics, would love to have Rob back, but if it's going to further an injury and have it be a lingering injury, and if he's not fully healthy and fully ready, fucking don't play him. Sit him. I need him. He is our future for the Celtics. So, future looks bright for both organizations. Very optimistic, very positive vibes, very happy, very impressed with the Celtics ending up at the 2 seed when they weren't even in our, like, we weren't even thinking that way back in January. Nope, not at all. I'm an optimistic. I'm an optimist, but there was no fucking way. I'm also a realist, and it was stacked against us back then, bro, but they turned it around, miraculous turnaround. Ime should at least be in the top 3 talks of Coach of the Year. Probably not going to get it. It's probably going to go to Monty Williams. And if not Monty, it's probably going to go to the Grizzlies head coach. But for Ime to get an honorable mention as it being his rookie year as a head coach is beautiful. Love it. I'll take the wins, any small victories. But yeah, him going to the playoffs too, and having the home court advantage as his first rookie year as a head coach is huge. I'm very impressed. Again, I apologize to Ime for freaking out midway through the season. I guess it's not how you start a season, it's how you finish it. Then only having 5 losses since the All-Star break is fucking huge. So, very impressed. I will again keep you updated. Stay tuned in to all my Instagram stories, all my Twitter posts. I try to be very active on my sports talk, and let me know what you guys think. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Again, also please subscribe, like, comment, share on Celtics Corner. The guys that I work with over there are really cool, and we chop it up and we talk almost every week now. So I appreciate everyone that follows and supports. I'm really bad at wrapping these videos up, as you already know. But happy Sunday, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much.